How's it going, guys? It's Jim. So it's been officially about 2 months since the CARES Act was originally passed and the stimulus checks were announced, and about a month and a half now since they started rolling out mid-April. So by now, most of you guys have gotten your stimulus checks. Unfortunately, some of you guys are still waiting on them. That is terrible. But whether you've gotten it already or you're still waiting, you gotta ask yourself, how are you gonna spend this money? Now, I'm sure we've all had time to dream about what we're gonna do with this money, right? Maybe you wanna book that cruise that got canceled, or buy that new TV from Costco, or just take it to the casino. Who knows? The truth is, you could do whatever you want with this money because I'm just a guy on the internet. But today, I'm gonna be sharing with you guys 5 ways to spend this $1,200 stimulus check. Now, before you guys go out on a shopping spree here, I think it's important to realize what this money is really intended to do. Now, it's labeled as a stimulus check, which I personally think is a little bit of a misleading term. And the reason being is stimulus means to stimulate the economy, right? But this money really is more than just to stimulate the economy, which is very important, especially with the state that we're in right now, but more so it's survival money, okay? This is money to pay your bills, pay your rent, put food on the table, to survive. It's an aid, it's a relief. Now, when it comes to how you spend this money, the choice should be very clear for many of you guys out there right now who are in desperate need of necessities like food, you gotta pay your rent, you gotta pay your bills, and just other supplies because you've been laid off, you've lost your job, and you're lacking cash flow. Especially right now when we have a record-breaking 40 million people, I believe it's more than 40 million people now, on unemployment. Or maybe you just forgot to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Actually, guys, seriously do that because it does help out my channel. So if you're caught up with everything, you don't need to dish out money for food or rent or anything like that, the first way to spend your stimulus money is don't spend it. I know, right? But seriously, it should be pretty obvious. If you absolutely don't need this money to survive right now, you should not spend it. And the reason being is because you don't know how long this thing is going to last for. You don't know what your financial position is going to be in the next month or two from now. And we really don't know when we're gonna get a second stimulus check, never mind this first one. So not spending this money is probably the smartest decision you can make if you don't have to. Obviously, if you have to buy food, if you have to pay your rent or pay bills, then you gotta do that. But if that's all squared away, the best thing you can do right now is save this money. So what you're gonna wanna do to achieve this is to open a high yield online savings account. It's super simple, guys. Just a quick Google search and you'll find your answers right there. There's a ton of them out there. We also call this type of savings a rainy day fund or an emergency fund. And that makes up about 3 to 6 months of all your expenses, meaning what does it cost you to live? That would be 3 to 6 months of food, rent, car payments, there's a fly in here, gas, groceries, healthcare payments, whatever. What does it cost you to survive? 3 to 6 months of that saved up. You don't touch it until you need it. When would you ever use this money, you say? Well, times like this when there's a crisis. The reality here is you never know what life is gonna throw at you, so you gotta be prepared for the worst. This way, when something does happen, you're financially prepared and you don't have to tap into your investments or your retirement. Number 2 on the list would be pay off debt. So if you already have a sizable emergency fund set up that you're very comfortable with, then it's a good opportunity to pay off your debt. And I know a lot of people right now are chomping at the bit to knock down those student loans. However, you might not want to do that just yet because it's very possible that lawmakers might go a little further with this and make it a little more lenient when it comes to paying those bills. As it is now, the government has been waiving interest on loans for the time being and putting payments on pause for the majority of student loans. So rather than going ahead and paying off your student debt, with this money, you might want to go ahead and pay off your credit card bills. Like I said, if you already have your emergency fund set up and you're already caught up on your bills and your necessities, go ahead and take this money and pay off your credit card. I mean, $1,200 is a lot of money, so it could put a pretty good dent in your pile of debt there, or maybe even pay it off. Number 3 on the list would be invest. Now, with all the bad that's going on in the world, there really hasn't been a better time to invest your money than right now. And this is not financial advice, so make sure you do all your own research and make your own decisions with your money, as there are a lot of speculations that we're likely to see the market go down again before it goes back up. So if your emergency funds are filled and your debt is fully paid off, then you might want to consider investing this money. Now, you're definitely going to want to run this by your CPA or a professional financial advisor to get advice on where to put your money and how much and when. Now, this is not advice at all. This is just what I'm personally doing is I'm investing heavily in ETFs that cover exposure to as many industries as possible. What I'm personally staying away from at the moment are individual stocks. I do have a few, but I'm not really putting all my money into those. And the reason being is because, yes, it is a great opportunity to buy. Some of them are gonna go through the roof and some of them are gonna go really far down. So I personally feel like individual stocks in some cases may take a little longer to recover than others. Again, this thing is far from over. We haven't really seen the economic impact of this whole crisis we're facing. So it's likely that we're gonna see a lot more businesses file bankruptcy and maybe even just be wiped out completely. Personally, the risk for most individual stocks is a little too high for what I'm comfortable with, so that is why I've decided I'm mostly investing with ETFs and mutual funds to diversify my portfolio. Number 4 on the list is probably the most exciting one, and that is to spend it. That's right, so if your emergency fund is filled, your debt is paid off, and you already have a well-balanced portfolio that you're very comfortable with, then you, my friend, are in a very great place in life. Congratulations. So you may want to just go ahead and take this money and reward yourself, because after all, you did work hard for it and you sacrificed. Odds are you're probably not likely to spend this money because you have the mindset of saving and investing all the time. But listen, with all the time you got stuck spending at home, why not treat yourself, buy something to entertain yourself for a while? This way you don't go crazy and lose your mind. Or you could start that house project you've been putting off for all those years. Why not book that cruise, buy that TV from Costco, and take it to the casino? Not the TV, the money. Or you could take a very different approach, which is number 5, and donate it. This is a very hard time for Americans right now. Over 40 million people are filed for unemployment, and many tradesmen, many hairdressers, restaurants, and a lot of other people have just watched their income get wiped away overnight. It's estimated that about 33% of all restaurants are going to permanently close, and about 40% of everybody who's on unemployment to permanently lose their job. Simply put, there's a lot of people suffering right now. So if you're financially stable and if you're feeling generous, then donating this money may be a good option for you. So those are my thoughts on how to spend this stimulus check. And like I said before, we don't know how long this thing is really gonna last for, right? And as time goes on and things get worse, it's likely that we'll see more aid and more stimulus. As for the second stimulus, I know we're all waiting very patiently for that, and it's very unclear of how much and when. But I do post videos all the time regarding the second stimulus, so if you guys are interested in learning and want to be updated all the time about a second stimulus check, then go ahead, hit the red rectangle down below and subscribe. Don't forget to put the bell notifications on. This way you don't miss out when I post those videos. Now, if you want immediate information regarding this second stimulus check, go to my channel and check out my recent uploads. I have a bunch of them out there right now regarding the second stimulus. And I also cover a lot of points in those videos that may be helpful to you. This is really a crazy time that we're living through right now. I mean, 2020 is definitely not the year that we all anticipated it being. So I just want to wish everybody to stay safe and healthy throughout this time. And if you're struggling financially or in other ways, just stay strong and hang in there. I'm sure aid and help will come your way. I know we've all been getting our hopes up lately, but I really do believe that we will see more help. It's just a matter of when. And don't forget to smash the like button on this video because it really does help out my channel. I greatly appreciate it. If you guys want to stick around for more great content, hit the little red rectangle down in the corner and subscribe to be part of the team and help my channel grow. If you guys have any questions or suggestions, leave them in the comments below. I do read and respond to every one of them, and I love getting your feedback. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Jim, and I hope to see you on the next one.